Andy in McKinney, Texas, thanks for calling.
Yeah, hi guys.
Hey, Andy.
Thanks for having me on.
Sure.
First of all, I'm an atheist, and I wanted to say that I love your show. Been watching it for quite a while now.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a disagreement with you guys, though.
Okay.
And on quite a few of the episodes that I've seen, there are obviously a lot of people that you just get frustrated with. You want to hang up on them. But before you do, sometimes you'll call them an idiot or something like that.
Sure.
And, of course, I can't possibly understand what you guys go through on a weekly basis with these callers. But in my experience, when I'm having a conversation with a theist, I find that the conversation itself doesn't necessarily benefit the person I'm talking to. Usually the benefit is for the people who are listening.
Mm-hmm.
Listening in, the other people who aren't necessarily jumping in on the conversation. And on either side, the atheist or theist side, whenever an ad hominem attack comes up, to me it usually seems like that person is ceding ground in the argument because they just don't want to continue.
Then you're being an idiot.
Oh, okay.
So one of the, I said that kind of half jokingly, one of the things is there's a difference between the ad hominem fallacy, which is saying your argument is wrong because you're an idiot, and the other one, an ad hominem attack, as you put it, that's basically just an expression of an opinion. And one of the things that I've said many times is that we're all idiots about something at some point. I'm not in any way summing up the entirety of somebody's character. And if after having a conversation where the merits of the arguments have been discussed and refuted, and one person sits there staunchly in denial of the evidence and in kind of resisting rational thought entirely, then I don't think there's anything that's factually incorrect or wrong about identifying that in this particular circumstance they're being an idiot. If you care more about tone than you do about topic, if you are more concerned with style over substance, and you're willing to disregard all of the substance because there was, one name or one comment, then in those situations, I don't have any problem with saying that I think somebody's being idiotic. Now, is it the preferred thing? No. Do we do it all the time? No. There's lots of conversations that take place between believers and non-believers, including on this show, where we don't get anywhere near that. It seems that those are the situations where those come up are ones where I think, not always, but I think generally, it's deserved, because I agree with you. I'm having this conversation not necessarily for the person I'm speaking with, but for the audience. And one of the things that we know is that if there's a theist out there who agrees with what the caller is saying, that they're going to empathize, and they're not going to want to be made to look foolish or make themselves look foolish as well. So I think there's some benefit to it. I don't think we start off by calling names. I don't think it's the preferred option. But on those occasions when it happens, I think most of the time it's probably justified.
Okay, it could be justified that you identify that person as an idiot. But for the benefit of the conversation, what positive qualities does it have to really say it out loud?
As I just explained, the people out there who agree with them are going to be put in a position where they empathize with them, and they're not going to want to be in a position where expressing their views makes them look foolish and makes people think that they're an idiot.
Oh, okay.
It comes down to kind of mirror neurons and our general empathy, and we know that if you see somebody who shares your views just publicly humiliated, not that humiliation is necessarily the goal, that this is enough to make people reconsider what they think about their views. It's not that I think that it's the preferred method or anything else, but one of the things that troubles me, and I'll let John chime on this too, is on occasion there are people who will say, I think you're doing this wrong. I think you would reach more people if you didn't do A or B or C. And I ask them all the same question. Apart from your own personal suspicion that we might be more effective if we did this other thing, do you have any evidence that we would be more effective? Because I already have evidence that we are effective. I don't necessarily have evidence that we would be more effective in a different circumstance. But I'm not not by any means saying that it wouldn't be a good idea to not do that as well.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I believe that you guys are effective. It's just that one little thing that kind of bothered me from time to time. But I think that explanation is pretty good for me. So.
Yeah, the way I've done it before is there are different ways that children discover the truth about Santa Claus. And some of them find out on their own, some of them investigate, some of them just kind of sort it out, and others desperately cling to it, and then they're made fun of on the bus to school for being, you know, oh, the little kid, you believe this ridiculous thing. And while I'm not in any way endorsing merely being mean, there's no denying that this is one of many ways. People believe things for different reasons, and sometimes you kind of have to be shocked and into actually caring enough. I don't know. John may completely disagree with me. I'll let you chime in.
Yeah, I don't have much to add to that. I don't know if I've ever called anybody an idiot on the show. I sort of look at that as a little bit of a shorthand. It's like what you just said was idiotic. That said, I try to make the distinction between the person and the idea or what it is they're saying, what they're expressing. And I'm just generally a nice guy, but...
that may be something I can do a better job at. I've explained it several times, but anyway.
Well, that's great. Thanks, guys.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Eddie.
Bye.
Oh, crap. I hung up on him when he was still saying goodbye.